What's up, people? Welcome to this episode of the Buy the Hood podcast or webcast because I don't know how you're consuming this content. I'm your host, as always. My name is Jimmy, and as we start off every show, that's with gratitude. Just want to say thank you to everyone who shows us support in any kind of way. Specifically, a shout out to the students of Buy the Hood University. We appreciate all of the support, and it's continuously growing as always. I got my partner, Crown Corey, with me. Corey, what's up, good brother?
Yo, what's going on, Jim? How you doing? And for everybody out there, you know how I get down. I'm never gonna complain about being alive. I'm doing good, man.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for, good brother. Listen, but our show is designed to highlight brothers and sisters who look just like us, who are doing amazing work, building businesses, doing a lot of great things for our community. And we just want to make sure that we shine a light on them. So we have a sister with us today, Sherrill Mosee, who's the founder of MinkeeBlue. And she's doing amazing work. And she's operating in a space that I think is very important. She teaches our people how to bring products to market. And I'm not going to read off your entire resume because you're very, very accomplished. But I'll let you talk a little bit about that. You know how you have products in big time stores and you're doing amazing work. But Sherrill, how are you though?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you guys so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, we definitely have to highlight your work because it's very inspirational. But also you have a lot of knowledge that you're willing to share. So, but let's start with your story. Where are you originally from?
So I grew up in Baltimore, born and raised in Baltimore, and then I went off to college, and I moved to Philly once I graduated from college, got a job here. My background is engineering, so I worked as an engineer for a little bit. And then I started a nonprofit called Family Care Solutions, where I raised money to help low-income single moms who wanted to go to school, wanted to go to college. I helped them pay for childcare so that they could go to school.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
man.
where did you go to school at here in Philly?
Well, I graduated from University of Maryland, and then when I moved here, I went to Drexel.
Okay, nice. Hey, that's where I got my master's degree is from Drexel. So hey.
Okay, cool.
But anyway, with that being said, though, your nonprofit you started, was that something that was like work that you just felt like needed to be done? Was that a passion project, or how that come about?
Yeah, no, it really came out of my own personal experience. My mom, family members, we all grew up single parent household, and my mother always wanted to go to college and she always wanted to go to school. But at that time, my grandmother just wasn't having it. She was like, you got to stay home. You got to take care of this kid. You can't go to school. And I always felt that, having an education was so important in regards to making the money or the income to raise a family. So I really just decided out of my personal experiences that I would start a scholarship fund, a child care scholarship for anybody who was in school or wanted to go to school, that I would help pay for their child care. And I got to tell you, I'm not rich. I didn't have any money. I was just trying to figure it out to help out people stay in school. And what I did, I wind up partnering with local child care providers. And I went to them and I said, I'm trying to help young moms they were at community college, they were at Temple, they were at Drexel, all the schools in the region. And I said, if you would either discount or give us a scholarship so that these moms could stay in school, then I developed this program around that whole concept. And really, to my surprise, and not so much, but a lot of the daycare providers understood where I was coming from because they were serving young moms and they themselves were single moms. And they said, you know what, I'll give you a full scholarship. And when I started the program, I had 10 paid scholarships to pay for childcare while the mom stayed in school.
That's powerful. And I know you said you came from your experience in terms of wanting to serve that community, but where'd your passion for wanting to give back, where'd that come from?
It was a combination of wanting to build something amazing, and just the people that in my life, my family, we're so tight knit and we just help each other. And I think in general, women, we just really are giving and nurturing, and we want to, if you're willing to help yourself, that's all my grandmother would always say, if there's a will, there's a way. And if you're willing to help yourself, then somebody else will help you along the way. And that's how I was raised. As long as you're willing to push through, then I can help you do as much as I can to get to that next step.
That's amazing. Well, first of all, salute to you for that. That's amazing.
Like you gave them an opportunity that they otherwise wouldn't have had to be able to secure the education that they wanted. So, salute to your work.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And it's, a lot of times we look at things that we don't have the money to do this, that, and the other. And I mean, like I said, I didn't have the money to pay for people childcare, but I just really asked people if they were willing to help. And you think about the cost of childcare and then paying for food and rent and then paying for school. A lot of times people just couldn't afford the college tuition or classes or books because you got to pay for childcare. Childcare is like a mortgage.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
It's a mortgage. So if you can,
Let's go back up a little bit because you did go to school to be an engineer. How did that transition happen as someone who was an engineer? That's like a completely different career.
Right.
How that happened?
Yeah. So when I came here, I worked for Lockheed Martin for a number of years. And then I was laid off. And, I was just I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to be able to give back. And I also wanted to start a business. And I was torn, like, do I really want to stay on this path or do I want to go on a different path? And then I just chose to not pursue engineering because my mind just wasn't being stimulated. As crazy as that sounds, at that time, it was more following through being robotic, what somebody else was saying. And so creating this program, because I didn't have any experience in starting a nonprofit, it was challenging to me. And then to have to go out and fundraise for grants, and I was able to get federal grants. And over the time period, I've raised over $3 million in award childcare scholarships. And all of that I learned on, just studying, talking to people, connecting with people, and was able to do that. So that was a real challenge for me. And I love challenges.
That's amazing because that's about taking action, right? But the second part of that is that's courageous. How difficult of a decision is that when you've, put all this money into education and you have this, quote unquote career that most people, consider a great career, to actually follow your passion? How difficult was a decision was that for you?
Right. So, first of all, you have to have family support. And of course, at that time, people thought I was crazy and why are you giving this up? But it was the position that I was in at work. I just wasn't being challenged. And I felt that I had so much to give. And I felt I was so talented, and I felt that I was smart, that I wasn't being challenged and I wasn't using my knowledge in the environment that I was in. Now that may be different for a lot of people now, but I'm talking the 90s. Mm-hmm. So it was really, really challenging. I just wasn't using my education, to be honest. And so I wanted to do something on my own. But yeah, it was definitely scary because you're giving up a nice chunk of income. So number one, I had my husband's support. And so that's really how I was able to do it. I don't think I've been able to make that transition without having that support behind me.
Okay, nice. That support's very important.
Yeah.
So let's get to MinkeeBlue because your products are amazing. And first of all, I want to send a shout out to Kahan and Callie. They're like family. And ever since they told me about your products and sent me your site, I've been like sending it to everyone I know because the quality of the your bags is just amazing. And to find like something that's Black owned like that is just very powerful. But so how did you go from running your nonprofit now to creating this business that you have that's thriving.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys so much for sharing that, especially Callie and Kahan for supporting me. But it's been a journey, and again, it's another 360, right? Engineering, running a nonprofit, and then starting this handbag business. So while I was working with the moms, I would see them come in with their diaper bag, their book bag, and their purse. And I was going to work. I was taking the train in the city, and I had my laptop bag, my lunch, and my purse. And I'm looking around. It's like, yeah, all these women, we carrying 2 or 3 bags. We struggling with 2 or 3 bags to carry all kinds of stuff. And so, again, this engineering mind and me about problem solving and just believing that if I come up with something that I can make it work. So, it's about the mindset too, right? I know you guys talk about the mindset all the time too. And I came up with this, I was like, man, I just want one bag where I don't have to put my shoes in a plastic grocery bag and then put that bag inside of a tote bag, or I didn't want to mix my banana up with my laptop, was we're always digging at the bottom of our bag to find our keys or what have you. So I wanted an organizational bag where I could separate the items in the bag without mixing everything up. And so I went shopping. I was trying to find this bag of the idea that I had in my head. And when I couldn't find it, I was like, man, maybe I'm on to something here, especially because, just looking around and we were just carrying 2 or 3 bags. And so I started thinking about it. I was thinking about it, and I had a lot of doubt because I was like, I don't know anything about design. I don't know anything about manufacturing, or I can't even draw really. So I'm serious. So it took me a long time with just that idea before I decided to move forward.
Man, so what is the name MinkeeBlue? What does that mean, or where'd that come from?
So when I started the business and I was working with moms, I actually started off, I wanted to make diaper bags. It just kind of made sense since I was working with moms. And I wanted the domain MinkeeBlue, but the domain was taken. And I was like, I like the sound of this. So it's a made up name. And it really is. I literally went through the alphabet. And I'm serious. People
That's
ask
an
me all the
amazing
time.
story.
People ask me all the time, and I said, I went through the alphabets, and I said, MinkeeBlue. Nah, because I was trying to get that sound MinkeeBlue, and then I said KinkeeBlue, and I was like, oh no, that's a whole nother business. And then I landed on MinkeeBlue, and I was like, yeah, I like that. I like the sound of that, and that's basically how it was.
That's
great.
That's a classic story right there. So, I've seen your business is award winning. I see that you have a lot of big stores that you're in now. What are some of the stores that that support your brand?
So, I mean, it's been a journey, right? All of that stuff I had to learn about manufacturing and sourcing and supply chain management. And there's been a lot of challenges and a lot of times that I wanted to quit. But it's about perseverance. It's about keeping it moving. It's about believing in yourself. It's about having faith that you can do it. So after years, I came up with the idea. I launched in 2014. So I was able to sell the bags at QVC last year. And today, thank God, I'm in Macy's.com.
That's amazing.
I'm on yeah. So it's definitely been a journey, and entrepreneurship is not cut out for everybody. I know that.
Let me ask you a question. What was the biggest misconception you had about launching a product that once you got into it, you said, oh, wow, I had no idea?
Right. So I thought the hardest part was designing, developing, manufacturing, sourcing, all. I thought that was the hard part, but really it's about sales.
Mm,
It's
interesting.
about sales because now, if, as a new brand, you got to let people know about your business. People
Hmm.
don't, and we are so especially with bags, we're so brand oriented and name oriented to try to get people to try something new without, the Gucci or the Louis Vuitton and some of these other brand names. If they don't know about it, it's hard to get people to change over and try new things. So it takes a long time. And one of the things when you're designing or developing a product is that you want to design something that solves a problem. You want to look at, how does this solve the problem? How can I make your life better with this product? Can I enhance your life with this product? And so that's how you kind of move and to grow and start selling your brand. What can this product do for you, right? It's not about the features so much. It's about, you sell the benefits. It's about the
Okay.
benefits.
That's an amazing piece of advice
Yeah,
right there. That's a gem.
right.
That's a gem. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's the thing. I know a lot of times we get caught up on that whole part about like you said in the beginning, I can't draw. And then come to find out that that wasn't even the biggest hurdle. The biggest hurdle was
Nope.
the sales. So that's interesting. That's interesting.
I do have a question.
Yeah, Cor.
So what happens with the, you have something, you've come up with this great idea. How did you protect that idea?
Great question.
Yeah, it's a really good question. And I get that question all the time. So when I started researching about the bags, and let me just show you, because just to make sure you guys know, when I started researching, I couldn't find a bag like the one in my head, which is really about separating items. So I actually have like a shelf in the middle of the bag.
Okay.
See this shelf?
Mm-hmm.
That's a shelf. So on the bottom part, you can put your shoes, you can put a change of clothes, you can put your lunch in here. So this is a little lunch bag at the bottom.
It's all
And
separate.
then, yeah, so that separates with that shelf. So I'm separating my shoes, my lunch at the bottom of the bag. And on the top part of the bag, I put my purse essentials and I put my laptop. So I'm not mixing everything up. So
Got you.
it's almost like carrying 2 or 3 bags in one, because I can separate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started doing research and I couldn't find a bag that had this, like the shelf in it, I started looking at patents.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started studying patents, and I wind up submitting a patent just on this folding divider, because I can convert it from one compartment to open it up. I can open it up for
Gotcha.
one compartment or make it 2. So so I've been awarded a patent on that, just on that piece of it,
Oh, that's
of the
amazing.
bag.
So you got your
Nice.
patent.
I got a patent. I got 2 patents.
Nice. Listen.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff you want to hear.
Thank God.
Listen.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what I
And
like
I'm
about your
telling you,
bag.
it's not. It's really about patience,
Mm-hmm.
right? Again, perseverance, the willingness to work hard, and just really keep pushing, because none of this stuff I knew when I started.
Yeah, and that's why I was so excited about your brand, because, like you said, we spend so much money on bags and things. I'm like, this is one for us. This is made by us. This is why this is important. Um, Let me ask you a question, right? So, in I guess another way to put it is, along this entire journey, right, from you starting off and your folks telling you, hey, this is the journey you want to take and becoming an engineer, but now you've like seemed to hit your stride as an entrepreneur and businesswoman. You found your passion. You're working. What has been the biggest hurdle? Like, what is that moment or that hurdle that you had to get over to lead you to where you are today?
There's been a number of hurdles, a number of obstacles. Actually, the first one was manufacturing. because originally when I started, I wanted to get the bags manufactured in the U.S., but it was just cost prohibited. It was too much money. And so I had decided that I was going to make the bags overseas. So now it's like, where do I go? Who do I talk to? So that was a hurdle because I was trying to figure out and navigate that whole big thing over there. So once I got connected and found a manufacturer there, then I had to learn the process because my first batch of bags, 30% was defective.
Ooh.
So that wiped out a lot of money right there, right? Anybody in their right mind or anybody could say, I can't do this anymore because that's my money.
So perseverance. That's where that perseverance comes into play, what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. And then perseverance and then reevaluating the situation. So I had to step back. I didn't have the money to keep pushing. So I stepped back for about a year and a half to try to figure this thing out and what I really wanted to do. And I needed to understand the process if this was what I was going to do. So I got on a plane and I went to China.
Wow. Listen though, what is like what I see throughout this entire story, and it's amazing, is taking action, right?
Yeah.
You have these. Everybody has ideas, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us have had ideas, and we don't do anything with them, and then you see somebody else do it, and you say, "I had that idea." Like it's probably happened to everybody, right? But the difference is, like, some of us are action takers, right? And you have these ideas and these visions, and you take a step. Getting on a plane to China, that's a lot of people were scared to do something like that, but you had the courage to do it. So that's another thing that I see throughout your story is the courage to walk away from the quote unquote good job, the courage to get on a plane to China when you're trying to figure things out. So you're taking action, and I mean, you're courageous for them. I have to say that, in terms of your story.
Yeah, I think it's definitely faith. Believing God is walking with me every step of the way. And believing in myself that I can do this. I have to, every day, especially these really tough days. I mean, I'll cry, I'll say, I'll be wanting to give up, and I'll just talk to myself, I can do this. I can, I know I can do this, and then connecting with people that are in the same space as you are, because it's just not an easy walk. So, it's not that I'm always having challenges. But it's trying to figure out how do you navigate and work through it to get to the other side.
Nice. So now you have, you figured out your processes and everything. I know that now you're actually teaching other folks how to take a product and get it launched. Tell us about your your idea to try to help others do the same.
Yeah, so a lot of people would call me or email me and ask me, how did I find a manufacturer? How did I do this? And so, and it's the same information that I wish I had somebody to help me along the way, to mentor me, to guide me along the way, because like you said, we all have ideas and we think of ideas, but the thing that holds us back is like, what do I do? What's next? What is the next step for me to do to bring this to market? So I decided to put together a course, and I've actually been helping people over the last few years, but I just really decided to put it in a course, and it's called Startup with Sherrill. And I help guide you. I take you from that idea, that concept, to making your prototype, to making your own prototype. You don't have to always run out and get somebody else to make it. So we start right there at the concept for making your prototype. And then I have a network of people, and I make connections, but I kind of walk you through the whole process. It's a 7-step process. And we talk about your understanding who your customer is, manufacturing, how to find a manufacturer, whether in the US or overseas. How do you actually talk to and negotiate pricing for your product? Getting a sample, testing the sample, the logistics of bringing that product into the U.S. So I walk you step by step throughout the process. And yeah, so it's pretty cool. I have really excited. A couple of my clients recently launched, and I have some people in the pipeline now. So I only take on a few people at a time because it is time consuming, but it's really rewarding to see people with their products.
Man, that's amazing work too, to help others, like, follow that journey. So congratulations for that as well.
I see you spent a lifetime helping people. Started with
it.
You started with the young ladies, and now you helping people bringing their products to the market. Like, you really helped a lot of people. You put a lot of money in people's pockets.
I do, because you think about all the money I lost on the journey and trying to figure things out, and now I'm like, okay, this is what you need to do. So I'm saving you time, and I'm saving you thousands of dollars because you're not spending years trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah,
time is the
most valuable asset. You save people time, you save them, who knows how much money,
Yeah.
So what is the future for MinkeeBlue? Like, what are some of the things you're looking to do, moving into the future?
So I'm still growing the brand. So it's in Macy's. So I do want to get it into other big retailers and continue to grow the brand. I want it to be a product that not is just stylish, but also benefit people. Like I said, you sell the benefits. How does this help me? And so just continue to grow the brand.
Okay. All right, cool. So let me ask you another question. What is your favorite book or a book that's inspired you along this journey? If,
my favorite is going to be the Bible, because there's a lot of stories and inspiration, the scriptures that really keep me going and motivate me. But in regards to a business book, one of my favorites that I really enjoy is called Mission in the Bottle, and it's by Honest Teas.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, the guys that came up with the Honest Tea, they wrote this book, Mission in the Bottle: The Honest Guide to Making the Tea. And what I really like about it is that they put it in almost like it's like almost like a comic book. So but it talks about their whole journey. It talks about the challenges, the obstacles. So it's an easy read, and it really gets you to think of this whole entrepreneurship and the process of building a business. And they do such a good job with that in this book. And I really enjoyed reading that book.
Okay. I haven't read that one. I have to add that to my list.
Mission in a Bottle. It's a fun read. Really a fun read.
All right, hey, gave us a new book too. Appreciate that, because we always see what inspires folks. But that's amazing. So Corey, you have any questions before we get out of here, good brother?
Nah, man, I'm inspired. Like, she just helps so many people. Like, you could just and then enjoys it. She's doing this full interview with a smile, because you can see the joy that she takes from actually helping people. So again, when I see happy people that are helping people, that's an amazing thing for me.
Yeah, and I just have to say again, for the record, your products are amazing, and I want more of our folks to support your products, because the way we buy those other brands, we need to start buying our own brands. And I always love to see us in a different space, right? So this is amazing, and we want nothing but the best for MinkeeBlue. And also, I think that the name is just amazing too. Now that I know how it came to be,
especially now that I know how it came about.
Yeah, that's gonna give you a tickle every time you think about that, right?
Yeah. All right. So Sherrill, so what we'll do is we'll make sure we put all of your links to all of everything you have going on with your course, as well as how folks can take a look at your products. We'll put that in the description for all of our folks watching. Please follow her. Take a look at everything she's got going on, and most importantly, check out the product. Right, this is someone that looks like us, who is pouring into folks that look like us, but also has an amazing product. So it's a win-win anytime you support. But we just want to say thank you for sharing your story with our audience, and much continued
success. Thank you guys. I appreciate what you're doing too, even on this platform, and how you sharing knowledge with people and, inspire people. So I appreciate you so much, Jimmy and Corey. And thanks again for having me on.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
Thank
To
you,
our audience,
thank you.
like we say, listen, make sure you support. And as we always say, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much you keep. Game elevates, and we'll check you guys out on our next episode. Peace.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.